I totally got it into my head that I really want to record in nature, and that is maybe a super silly idea because I'm back in Berlin and it's been really hard to do these reflections because I don't want to record them at home, but at the same time I don't have time sometimes to like go to a lake or something, so I'm literally sitting in the park in the middle of the city that hopefully is not too loud, and I'm gonna yap about shame and anger because the Artist Way week 3 was about shame and anger, and I don't even know where to start with this chapter. I think it was the most emotional I've been reading in my life because I couldn't get through any single page without crying. Every single page I was reading, I was bawling my eyes out, and it was so hard to get through anything. But I think the reason to why I was as emotional as it was because I have always felt like negative emotions, or not felt, I've been told that negative emotions are bad and are not supposed to be felt, so I suppressed these negative emotions for a very long time. But the suppression of these negative emotions gave me a lot of shame, and then I did live in the shame for such a long time. I think still living sometimes in the shame, and it's difficult because it's shame about my existence, it's shame about my art, it's shame about my life or my choices, and it is this wish to fit in, but at the same time knowing that I need to become more myself in order to fit to the crowd that would accept me, and not constantly try to fit into crowds that are not for me. And yeah, and also obviously like knowing also where the shame is coming from, and also like I feel like I was emotional because I knew that everything that was written was true, and yet it was so hard to accept that negative emotions are to be felt, that I'm okay when I am bringing vulnerable things to light, and the way that I am is not shameful. And actually what I need to become is more of myself, and I need to stop telling myself things that are not good and we shouldn't be doing. So I don't know. And yeah, and also made me emotional about like there was a few tasks there that you needed to reflect on, like your childhood and the traits about yourself as a child that you liked. And I got very emotional because I love the traits, like I love the traits about myself as a child most, that most people don't like about me as an adult. Like the same things that I adore about myself and I adored about myself as a child are things that I've been most shamed about. And I never want to lose these traits. That's the thing. Like the more I'm told that they're silly, the more I felt like I was caged, and the more I would embrace that childlike wonder, the loudness, the vulnerability. Like I love to ask a lot of questions, I love to talk, and I love to be silly. Like I love to be silly, and I think many people find it like cringe and weird and say that I talk too much, and you know what, I do, I talk a lot. That's true. That's why it's actually pretty easy to record these sometimes, because I never really run out of conversation with myself, and I do talk to myself a lot because I do need to reflect, because that's how I process everything. And I love these things about myself as a child. I would talk to nature a lot, I would talk to myself a lot, and I would be by myself a lot, and I charge in nature, and I like to record myself dance and sing and do silly things. And yeah, maybe it's cringe, but I think like the more I started lately to embrace that cringe part about myself, the happier I felt, the more I feel like myself. And it makes me emotional because I feel like for such a long time I didn't let myself be like this because I felt like I'll be rejected. And I think I am. But it's okay because I don't need their approval. And I figured out recently that the approval of the people that I was seeking, the people that have said these things about me, are people that are just not like, that just don't, that's okay. If they're not gonna like me, that's fine, because the more I'm gonna be myself, the more I'm gonna be liked by people that are my tribe, that are my people. And I think that's what I should be looking for. Like, I should be looking for this. And then there was another like exercise about people that I admire, and then I thought it's true. The people that I admire in life as celebrities or what, like, are people that are authentically themselves. Like, you can just tell that they're just themselves, that they're just doing, saying, being, and they're loud, they're funny, they're kind of everything. And you can tell, I think you can tell that they're having fun, that they're being, they're being themselves. And I admire that. And also my friends, the friends that I adore the most, are people that are letting themselves be themselves and just being whoever they are. And they're vulnerable about it, and they are down to have a deep conversations, and they do talk to themselves, and they do spend time with themselves, and they are more emotional, but they're happier. And all of them know how to process negative emotions, and all of them know that it's important to feel the spectrum of everything and not just feel like, oh, I'm just happy all the time, like, because that's not true. And what else? And it was funny that I was doing this chapter actually as I came to the place that gave me the most shame and anger because I haven't been in I don't want to say too much about this, but I haven't been in this place where I partly grew up in almost 3.5 years. And this particular week that I was doing the chapter about shame and anger, I was there. So I was like kind of re-triggered about a lot of things, and was even more emotional because I think I was confronted with that shame there again. And I was feeling this anger, and I was reading this chapter, and I was feeling upset, and my inner child was crying, and I think it was the hardest week in a while, but nevertheless, I'm so grateful that I made it through that week and that I really felt it through that week. I was journaling much more than usual. I was doing like the morning pages and an evening page. I was crying a little bit more than I expected, and and I was defending myself. So it was good. And I actually had a good week. So I'm ready for chapter 4. I'm scared, but I think it's gonna be okay. And I also, in this chapter, sorry, this is the last little thing. In this chapter, you were also supposed to say who you admire from your friends, who feels like they're nurturing you, like not like taking away responsibility from you, but like nurture you to the person that you are. And I was just in deep awe and gratitude for my friends, for some of my friends, because I think they lifted that shame, they lifted that anger, and they made me believe that all emotions are okay. And I'm so proud of them and where they are on their journey, and I'm so grateful for every single minute that I get to spend with these people. And I hope that our journeys are gonna be locked forever, or for however we can and need. But yeah, I'm grateful and happy that week is over. And also I tried to record this reflection 3 times, and twice I couldn't really do it because I was crying so much. And now I think I've calmed down enough to do it. So yeah, week 3 done, week 4 starting. Thank you for listening. Bye.